We're live.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you so much.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Yes, okay, perfect. So it's just about 1:15, so I think we are going to kick off today's programming. Thank you for your grace. We just started off a little bit later than anticipated, but I think we'll be able to make up the time during the programming for the day. We do have a jam-packed program, so we are going to move relatively quickly through each of the different segments. But first of all, just wanted to welcome everybody to today's event. It's quite a momentous occasion. I remember engaging with the Embrace team about 2 years ago. Maybe for a little bit of context, I'm based at DGMT, so I work very closely with the Embrace team around this work, the significance of being able to talk about obstetric violence, but also at the time, what was missing in the national conversation. And a big part of that conversation was, do we have any numbers, statistics, research alongside the qualitative work that had been done up until that point to back up some of the context and what was emerging in the work that Embrace was driving. So the team embarked on this survey to get a sense, even if it was a dipstick, of where are the experiences of birthing moms in South Africa. And today we're here to hear the results of that survey. If you had come in a little bit earlier, you might have missed the publication that was at the door. So I'm just flagging it for everybody who maybe didn't grab a copy. You can grab a copy just outside. So this is the birthing survey. There's also other publications that the team have that would be great to look at. One is a piece of work that the team did on obstetric violence broadly in South Africa. This was a Change Ideas brief that was published by the DG Murray Trust. So just flagging those for people who would have arrived at different times. But now we're going to jump straight into the programming. But first, I'd love to call on Prof. Christopher Givers. I got that right. Fantastic. He is the director here at CULS, and we also would just like to thank the team for hosting us today. It's a really beautiful venue. Prof.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So much. Morning, everyone. So, you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, let me begin by welcoming everyone on behalf of the Center for Applied Legal Studies, both those in the room, those joining online, including our partners from Embrace, the Movement for Mothers, survivors, donors, officials from the Department of Health, colleagues, and friends. So we're here today to launch the report by Embrace on the extent and nature of obstetric violence in South Africa. This is a remarkable, timely, and yet well overdue and important report that helps to tell the story of survivors and break the silence around obstetric violence. It's the first survey of its kind in South Africa. Obstetric violence is a form of gender-based violence. It is a gross human rights violation committed against individuals in particularly vulnerable states. Like other forms of gender-based violence, obstetric violence is both personal and systematic. Like other forms of gender-based violence, it intersects with and compounds broader structures of domination, including those based on race and class, particularly in South Africa. We know that it is widespread. A recent study concluded that 60% of birthing individuals globally, that is a majority, experience some form of obstetric violence. This Embrace report confirms that South Africa is no exception to this haunting statistic. The situation here may be even worse in many respects. But obstetric violence is violence. It is systematic. It is widespread. As an international lawyer, I choose those words carefully, as widespread and systematic are the universally recognized constitutive elements of a crime against humanity. However, despite this, obstetric violence is chronically underreported, unrecognized, and remains largely unaddressed. As the head of our gender justice program, Dr. Sheena Sherma, put it in 2021, obstetric violence is a war on women's bodies waged in the shadows. This report will make an invaluable contribution to bringing this pervasive and pernicious form of gender-based violence into the light. Obstetric violence is one of CULS' flagship projects, which we have been working on since 2020. We began this work following a harrowing report by the Commission on Gender Equality on the forced sterilization of women living with HIV/AIDS in South Africa. Some of the survivors may be in the room, and we want to acknowledge their presence. We also want to acknowledge the work of movements like Embrace and the various partners and the very significant progress that has been made through their continuous activism, such as successfully advocating for the inclusion of obstetric violence as a form of gender-based violence in the Presidential Summit on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide, as well as their influence in having respectful maternity care explicitly included under the latest integrated maternal and perinatal care guidelines. This report will play